gonna love it. This is for you, Em.
Welcome to the Littlewood house. You are actually in my office where I get to do my designing. And that's different because today what we're gonna do is design a ring box. It's pretty exciting times around here. My nephew is soon to be engaged, and when he got the box in the mail, it wasn't exactly what he wanted. He wanted something with a lot more sentiment to it and little things that mattered to both him and her. So when he called me to see if I could do it, I was so elated. Of course, I wanted to be able to create an actual wooden box for him, but designing it's the best I could do with the time that we have. And that's gonna be perfect. So he had already thought of everything from the colors, from the flowers he wanted on it, every little bitty detail he's been involved with, and I'm so excited for this. In this process, what we're going to do is use my silhouette, and we're going to cut out some letters. We're gonna adhere them to the walnut box that we ordered on Amazon. He definitely wanted something different that was round instead of squared. It's hard to find a round box, but we did just that. The box that he wanted in the inside, he would prefer a blue inlay. Again, that was hard to find, but we fixed that and we inlaid it with blue. Blue is Emily's favorite color, so we were able to do that. Next is the letters, once we get those cut out, and then he wanted baby's breath to go all the way along the edge, so that's gonna be gorgeous. And then the date of their engagement's gonna go at the bottom. So we're gonna get started with this project and see how it turns out. Hopefully we'll get him to pop in the middle and test it, and we're gonna use a small piece of walnut just to make sure everything sets well before we actually put it on here. So time to get started. We have got her initials on here and they turned out pretty great, and I've just cut them on the silhouette. So let's see how they turned out. I am using the Silhouette Cameo. This thing has been wonderful. I absolutely love it. And here are our letters. I used Oracle contact paper. I absolutely love Oracle because it's really strong, and I want it to stick really well to this project. So this is a glitter gold, and it turned out perfect. I used a monogram font and just kind of played with it so I could layer it up together. So now to put it on our test piece and check on our dried baby's breath. Here is one of our options for our baby's breath. I have a wooden bamboo cutting tray, and so I put it on it. I use the wood because it's a good absorber of any kind of moisture, and I used the paper towels, and we just laid it out here. And as you can see, it's nice and flat, which is what we were hoping for, and it turned out perfect. I don't know if you could see it really well. It doesn't want to focus, but you can tell by me turning it, it is stiff. So that worked really, really well. The other option that people recommend, oh, there you go, was to hang it upside down. So we tried both, and we will look at that. All right, here is our hanging version, and these do look great. I will tell you, they're dry, so you can tell they're not real flimsy. But what I've noticed is they're not flat. So it really depends on your project of what you're doing with your dried flower. If I wanted these to be in a vase or something like that, these will look fantastic. But because I am putting them in something I'd prefer them to be flat, I think the other method is gonna be the winner on this. So we have seen both methods work really well. These dried really nice. I do like that they look, you know, perfect still, so that's the great way of doing it that way. But if you're wanting to press them in something, the other way turned out really, really well. All right, so our test piece is ready. We have dried the flowers, we have cut out the letters, we've placed them on this piece of walnut, then we're gonna pour the resin on and test it. But before we can do any of that, we need the final approval from my nephew, Brandon. So Brandon, your turn.
This is looking really good. Really like the gold letters, the baby's breath, which is her favorite flower. The blue under the ring, I mean, that's her favorite color. It looks so good. And like I said, the gold lettering just really matches the ring. She's gonna love it. This is for you, Em.
All right, once we got Brandon's approval, we were able to pour our resin on our test piece, and we've all slept since then. So it's dry and cured, and everything turned out pretty good. What I absolutely love about Total Boat is that it is so crystal clear. I used the heat gun just a little to remove some bubbles, but it did not take much. Best part about using a test piece is you learn a lot of lessons. One of the things is my dam, although it worked really great with my Sure Tape, I'm going to put something along the edge of the wood as well to keep it running. The other thing is, it was a test piece, so I wasn't super careful on making sure it was level. So I will do that next time, use my level and make sure this piece is level, because we're gonna go to the real piece now. So turned out pretty great. So now it's time for the real deal. This is our ring box that we've already done the blue inlay, and here's our lid. And you can see I have put blue tape, painter's tape, all the way around the edges of this. And I'm gonna use that with my Sure Tape to create my dam. The only thing with the Sure Tape is there was still a little bit of bleeding, so this is hopefully going to protect the wood and keep it from removing any finish that's on it. So let's hope that works really well. And we're gonna place our letters and our baby's breath and pour our resin. So if you notice, when I pulled my Sure Tape out to measure the right amount, I folded a piece over. And the reason I do that is it kind of creates the dam, and it's easier to remove from the resin once it's cured. All right, so on second thought, I have removed the blue tape because the blue tape could possibly absorb the resin. And the problem with that is getting it off is gonna be nearly impossible. So we're gonna go with just Sure Tape. We've got the fold to create our dam. And I'm just gonna trust in Sure Tape that this is gonna work really well. So our placement is there, and now to pour some resin. And you see the date down there, itty bitty. All right, so we have taken the tape off and everything looks pretty good. There is a little bit of raise on the end, and the tape does that, so you want to be careful. We are going to need to sand it just a smidge, but it turned out pretty great. Okay, so I have taped around the box, and as you can see, I actually already started sanding it. I meant to show you ahead of time, but you get what a tape job looks like. So I've taped it up, started sanding it. I'm doing two different things. I'm using sandpaper that can get wet, that won't just like disintegrate, at a 400 grit, just to knock off those really sharp edges. The reason I taped it is because the center sheen is perfect, but the rest of it on the edges is what needed to get taken off. So use the regular sandpaper on that, and now I'm going through some sanding pads to take the rest of it and just kind of smooth it out. It is a long, tedious project. If you have a way of setting it on a lathe and grabbing it, that would be your best bet, but this is just gonna take some time. So sanding it down and getting it pretty smooth and buffing it out, and we'll see how we do. All right, I've got my trusty Dremel, and I've put on here a small pad, and I'm gonna put a little bit of like cutting board oil, just some oil to help buff this up a bit, since I can do it a good bit faster with the Dremel, and we'll see if that can restore its shine. Our sanding's pretty much done, so that came out really well. It's about as smooth as I'm gonna get it without messing anything else up. So we're gonna attempt this real quick and see how that does. Well, Well, we are done. I am super excited. It turned out really good. There are a tiny few imperfections, but as my nephew would say, that just adds character and shows that it was homemade. We have touched every detail of Brandon's design for Emily. We've got her initials in here. We've got the date of May 27th. The initials are in gold. Her favorite flower, baby's breath. It's unique and round, which is what they wanted, and her favorite color, blue, for the inside. So this has been an exciting project for such new fun adventures to come for you both. Congratulations from us to you, and for those of you watching, I hope you enjoyed this project. It's really fun to make memories for other people. So get out, have fun building, make memories for those that you love, and learn something yourself in the process. I've definitely learned a couple of things, which is what the goal is all the time. So thank you so much. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to see more of our videos as we do things for the ones we love. Thank you so much and have fun building.